Welcome back. The attack on the Tarn Taran Police Station is casting a long shadow over security situation in Punjab. The IG police there confirmed that 4 people that were involved in the planning and execution have now been detained. Investigation is on. It's a multi-agency probe that progresses. But even as that happens, a clear Pakistan-Khalistani link is now emerging. 3 gangster-turned-terrorists are believed to have orchestrated this recent attack, all of whom were believed to not be on Indian soil. The main accused, or the mastermind, the one who planned this entire attack, is also the one who carried out the similar attack in May of this year, when in Mohali we saw a similar RPG attack at a security establishment. That is Harvinder Singh Rinda. There are 2 other people that are under the scanner, again, not on Indian soil. So what exactly happens and how does India bring them to book? Till when are these attacks going to continue? On the right stand, we ask if there is the Pakistan-Khalistani nexus that has been confirmed now beyond doubt. Professor Madhav Nalapat, Vice Chair of the Manipal Advanced Research Group, joins us on this broadcast. Strategic Affairs expert Dr. Monica Verma will be joining us shortly, and Defence Analyst Lieutenant General KJ Singh will also be joining us. Professor Nalapat, as far as the Khalistan-Pakistan link is concerned, it's well known. It's not new. We've seen it emerge, rear its head in multiple other cases in the past as well. We see multiple attempts being made in Punjab to foment trouble. Is the kind of RPG attacks that we see, the one that we saw now and the one that we saw in May, is that just a trailer to something bigger that is being planned? And if yes, then how do we stop that?
Well, I'd like to point out as someone who has visited Punjab fairly often in the 1980s, when the first round of this ISI-sponsored Khalistan movement was going on, a terror movement. This is typical. The fact of the matter is that during the 1980s, the effort was to demoralize the police forces. Basically, and I was an eyewitness to the fact that several times you had known terrorists coming to court, and frankly, there would be no argument, frankly, preventing them from getting bail. So even without some perfunctory argument will be there that they should deserve bail, they are good law-abiding citizens, when in fact they were open overt terrorists, and they would be given bail because there was no countervailing argument. People were petrified of them, and the police were demoralized until KPS Gill came on the scene and ensured that the police were, if I may say so, remoralized. So this demoralizing of the police as a softener before a lot of other activity takes place was there in the Punjab in the 1980s, and the same playbook, the same copybook is being used now. What is interesting here, you have the Sikhs for Justice openly claiming that they are responsible for this. Sikhs for Justice is an American NGO registered in the United States. There are important legal personages such as Preet Bharara, a former New York Attorney General, nothing less than that, openly, basically supporting Sikhs for Justice. I think the least we can do is to ask the American government, the administration, to declare Sikhs for Justice a terror organization, because they have openly claimed credit for the Mohali attack.
And we also have Gurpatwant Singh Pannoon, who often incites violence sitting on foreign soil in Canada. And we've been trying to raise the issue of his extradition, of even an Interpol Red Corner notice. And even that somehow has been stalled by the Interpol. Even that's one step that we haven't been able to take as far as bringing to book these terrorists are concerned. And Lieutenant General KJ Singh, now Punjab is extremely important as far as security, not just of the state, but of the entire country is concerned. So if repeated instances like this happen, just 2 attacks in 7 months, in just 1 year, and the year is not even ended yet. If this is just the tip of the iceberg, where are we headed? How do we combat this kind of menace or this kind of terror that we are now seeing?
See, I am myself very worried. It's a border district. Drones are being used to drop weapons, and an RPG attack taking place on a police station. Of course, it was because of certain bad storage or something. It fell short. It went to Sanj Kendra, which is a adjoining building in Sarhali, next to the police station. But the fact is that I have tried to map these incidents or these very unfortunate kind of misplaced attacks. There have been 4 or 5 of them, and all of them are linked to these gangsters like Lakhvinder Singh Landa, Harbinder Singh Rinda, and all these people who are based in abroad. They've got shelter over there, and it indicates very serious intelligence failure. And there is also certain element of competitive politics which is taking place. Like when Gujarat elections were taking place, Punjab Police prematurely announced that Goldie Brar has been arrested in USA. And later now there is no talk of it. That was, I don't know why was it announced. So police getting politicized, intelligence failing, not able to take action. This is all very worrying. And there is a need to rise above this petty politics. It's a border state. We cannot mess around with it. We cannot allow these gangsters to gain an upper hand. And see, what is even more worrying is that there are multiple kind of these modules which are taking place, and their attacks are carried out. And then, of course, we've been lucky also. There no serious damage has taken place till now. God is on our side. But that's not enough. We won't be lucky many times. So there is a need to carry out, and also there is a problem of large presence of weapons in these areas. See, there were some orders passed to check proliferation of weapons and get them deposited, regulated, but that's not being allowed to happen. That order has been taken back because of populist kind of concerns. So in these districts of Firozpur, Gurdaspur, Taran Taran, there are large number of gun houses. People have got weapons on the pretext of personal protection, but these are often misused.
Right.
And now Pakistan is into this game. They are sending weapons. Though this weapon,
right, every now and then
Sarhali,
we see weapons and arms ammunition being dropped via drones from across the border. Many of them have been shot down. Many of those attempts have been thwarted. But we do not really have any track of what exactly has transpired before and after, and how these attempts from the Pakistani side continue to take place. And Monica Verma, that really is the worrying part. Yes, the Pakistan-Khalistan nexus is a known one. It's an open secret. But in the recent past, we seem to be seeing a renewed vigor with which they seem to be acting against India.
Absolutely, there's a renewed vigor, like you said. And in fact, in this very case, first the Sikh for Justice, they claimed the responsibility for the attack. And now we have seen, Ghazwat-ul-Hind, which surprisingly is a Kashmir-based terror organization. And they have been focusing their activities in that area. They are an Al-Qaeda affiliate, and now they have also claimed the responsibility, which, I think is nothing but a way to misguide the police, misguide the investigative agency, so that they are not able to, reach any concrete conclusion. But this nexus between the Islamists and the Khalistanis is something that, India has been dealing with from a long time. And right now, whatever is happening, it's worrying on many fronts because, Punjab happens to be one state that was very, peaceful after a long time, where we were focusing on economic development. And Kashmir was the problem state in India. And now that, things are looking up in Kashmir and we are seeing a huge, degree of normalization in Kashmir, what's happening in Punjab is certainly reminding us of what used to happen in the past. I wasn't even born, when these things were happening in Punjab. So it's really worrying, for someone like me, people of our generation, to see Punjab fall into the abyss of this instability and absolute, law and order threat. And the ruling party, the Aam Aadmi Party, you have a party there which is, I don't want to say that, but, it's really, unfortunate that there is politicization of the police, the law and order mechanism, and there needs to be a greater accountability. And in fact, the SSJ, interestingly, they have been claiming that they are fighting for the Khalistan cause and they are holding referendum across the world. But with their very open and very apparent, links with the terrorists, I am really wondering why can't we use our diplomatic, power, diplomatic wherewithal to stop anyone who's voting in these referendums or to stop anyone who has any sort of linkages with the SFJ to visit India or to travel to India. You know,
Right.
educated people, the Sikhs in these countries, they should actually be disowning it publicly and stop,
Absolutely. So diplomatically, pressure needs to be applied. Militarily, of course, there has to be a synergy between all agencies, the state machinery, the army, the BSF, because Punjab is a border state. Security of the state is not just important for that particular region, but for the rest of the country as well. And which is why, as we see stamp of Pakistan, Khalistan linkages to such kind of attacks more and more that come to the fore, we have to develop a mechanism that synergy between multi-nodal agencies needs to be in place. And that really is the message that is coming in from all our panelists tonight. I thank you all for joining us with your perspective here on this edition. With that, it's a wrap from me. Thank you so much for tuning in.